Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, inflation. Have you ever wondered what inflation is and how it affects your daily lives? Well, stick around as we delve into this very important topic.
So when we talk about inflation, my understanding is the measure of how prices of goods and services increase over time.
And so the higher the inflation rate is, it means more money chasing few goods. So a higher inflation rate would mean that things are expensive now.
Inflation.
Inflation is when a lot of money is chasing fewer goods. That's how I understand inflation.
Inflation is not me my dream with my own knowledge. Say Ghana economy is weaker. Na ama enioma ekosoro. Bibia kosoro because yenti kasem no say enkoya na eshutu bibia. And e bin my inflation time na. E bin also take advantage say one woman no kura one turn this time also take opportunity no also they are increasing on books.
Inflation on what can dey we kura mentim dio menti ase o menti ase di kire me wo twi
ase chese te say niama ye tumo e koso ochna ya tu we mu ochna ya tu we mu ema ama niama ni mu ayedi.
Inflation is a term that generates headline news all the time, but can be very confusing for so many people. Let's get help from our experts from the Bank of Ghana.
The rate at which general levels of goods and services within an economy rises over time is what we refer to as inflation. But what are the causes of inflation? We can trace inflation to primarily imbalances of supply and demand within an economy. It could be as a result of demand that exceeds supply and it reflects in prices. So how does inflation affect consumers and businesses? Let's take the effect of inflation on incomes. When there is inflation, the consumer's purchasing power reduces or diminishes. This is because inflation has the effect of eroding the incomes and how much goods and services an individual could buy previously. Inflation also increases the cost of living, which affects the quality or the standards of living. Inflation can also affect savings adversely unless savers are compensated with a savings rate for the erosion of their incomes. This lower savings has a way of affecting spending adversely. For businesses, inflation will imply an increase in cost of production, either cost of inputs or cost of raw materials, and these increases could be further passed on to consumers. Inflation also affects the ability for businesses to plan and to budget effectively, thereby making uncertain their investment decisions that has a great impact on economic growth. Inflation also has a way of affecting the competitiveness of a country in that it could make the prices of a particular country's goods more expensive than its trading partners, thereby affecting exports of goods and services. What is the central bank's role in controlling inflation? Central banks globally are mandated with a price stability objective, and the Bank of Ghana is no exception to that. In fact, most of the central banks have this mandate enshrined in law, and that brings into fore the primacy of price stability, knowing its adverse repercussion on the economy. Central banks over the world use two primary key or two instruments to control inflation. The first one being a short-term measure of interest rate, normally referred to as the monetary policy rate. And then, of course, the use of open market operations to control the supply of money in the system.
So there you have it. Understanding inflation and the role of Bank of Ghana in managing it is essential for planning.